I'm Chitra Iyer. I'm the CEO of MFA Capital. We are an 18-year-old firm working out of Mumbai, helping all our client families with taking better decisions about money. It has been a absolutely wonderful experience over the years, sitting and talking to families, understanding what they wish to do with their money and guiding them with the same. We cater to business owners, senior corporate executives, doctors with surgeons, special needs families, and NRIs too. In this interview, I'm really looking forward to share a fantastic story about a business owner who took some fantastic decisions to help himself and his family and his business in terms of aligning his goals. Meet Rajiv Sethi. He's Managing Director of Gemini India, a mechanical engineer and a first generation entrepreneur. He has set up a beautiful company and gained tremendous experience over the years, mentoring a wonderful rock solid team. What we know about Rajiv is he's really multifaceted, enjoys music, extremely passionate, and that's something that I'm learning from him day in, day out. He loves photography and is also an avid traveler. Let's begin, Rajiv. What are your earliest memories, you would say, are about money?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having me here. My earliest memories of money would start obviously from my childhood. I grew up in a middle class neighborhood, salaried father who worked in, and we lived in a what can be called as a gated community. So the accent was more on how you did well at school or in college, in sports and in cultural activities, because everything was provided for. The first real brush of money was when I went to college and then later on to hostel. That's when you had money in your hand and you had to manage that.
Right.
When your parents were not looking at it or they were not paying your fees or other stuff. So after hostel, after I graduated, became a mechanical engineer, I worked for about 2 years and felt great earning your own money.
Yeah.
And I felt really grown up at that time, being able to, wait for that salary check to come in. I worked for about 2 years and then I had this intense desire to serve my customers a little more passionately than my current company was serving. And that's when I started my own business, Gemini. I've been in business now for over 3 decades and I can't remember one single day that I've regretted it. Every single day along the entire journey has been absolutely marvelous. I'm blessed, and as I can say, I count my blessings. In the roller coaster, in the challenges of everything, I've gotten up every day, fresh new day, here I come. And here I am here to serve my customers, to take care of my family, my extended family, my people at work. And that's how we've been living.
Awesome. That's lovely. Rajiv, if I may ask, what are the values of money that you still live by?
The value for money that I have is that there is abundant money in the universe. One has to choose his or her path and the principles on how you want to earn this money. And after that, everything depends upon you, your journey, and how you go about it.
So Rajiv, the going was good. Gemini is going lovely, going great. As a business owner, did you always know about how much money would be needed for my family in terms of all of the needs that are going to come up in life? And did you rely purely on the business money towards all of these needs?
So when I started out, there was no differentiation for me with the money that I earned from my business and the money that I withdrew from my personal requirements, whether it was from myself or my family. But as the business progressed, and then in business you've got your ups and downs,
Yeah.
but family life keeps on going on. You get married, you have children, your requirements grow up, and then suddenly you realize that the business cycle and the requirement of family money do not really have the same. They're not in tune with each other. I realized this quite late, and this is one learning that I want to share with everybody, that they should learn how to differentiate that the money that you earn from your business, you've got to remove something of it, or whatever proportion that you would want, for your personal needs, and then finance your business in that manner.
Rajiv, a lot of people say, I know my business very well and I would like to invest in my business because I have complete control. What is the necessity of removing money from the business? What would you tell them?
It actually depends upon your aspiration for your business and your aspiration for your family. Okay, then it's not just your own blood family that you got to take care of. It's the family that you inherit, or team members who work 12 to 18 hours with you day in and day out.
Absolutely.
So the equation over there changes. So that's what I'm trying to hint at, that we need, or anybody needs, to differentiate between personal and business finances. So the moment you start growing the company, you need investment in it. You would need external investors, you need a bank, and need other stakeholders in that. And the moment you have that, it again has to be in sync with the money that you are removing for your own personal finances.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that understanding, if it comes in earlier in the day or earlier during your cycle, that's what I meant, that start allocating a part of your money that you earn every month, or even if you don't earn every month, you got to allocate a salary for you, or you got to allocate expenses for you, and then treat them as two parallel channels within the same earning channel. That's what I wanted to say.
What I would like to even extend here is, obviously you must have faced some challenges in the business, right? The business cycle, as you said, goes up and it would go down. It's not always static. How did you deal with those tough times? Where did you go for the money? What did you do in terms of keeping aside money for the business or for your family? People saw COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID. What has your experience been?
So I'd like to share something which is very personal. During one of the lean patches that we had at business, things looked very dire. And we'd done some mistakes which we had to recover from. The market was not looking good, and so many other challenges that came up. At that time, I had to look for money or finances or support from so many other sources other than what I usually banked upon. Because I had kept the source the same, that is the personal money and the business money the same, that was a very dark and depressing period for me. But thank God, it did not last for very long. We were able to overcome that challenge. And that's the learning I've had, and I want to share with other people, is that please differentiate both your personal monies and your business money. While at work, we've got professional consultants and chartered accountants and everybody else guiding the financial health of the company. It's very, very important that the personal health of the finances of your family should also be safeguarded and ring-fenced, and you should have a very clear, demarcated policy which should be adhered to and followed. I wish I had learnings in those days, but soon after that, after we had gone through that bad patch, if I would say so, is where I met people like you or people from MFA who helped us and took us into the journey of planned finance or goal-based financing around milestones of your life, of your family, of your business, where you would require the money. And I think that's played a very, very important part of in our life, in our personal life, for sure.
Very happy to have you as part of the extended family at MFA. And sincere question to you: what changed? What would you say having MFA in your life? How did it change the pre and the post? Entire impact on Gemini, on Rajiv, on his entire family, everyone. What would you say?
So, actually, the way that I look at it in terms of finances, there are two entities. One is Gemini, the company, with all its people in it, and the Sethis, with my blood family in that. And how has MFA made a difference in our life? Start with the personal part, and obviously it reflects upon the company as well. So the first thing is get what they say is get your house in order. So MFA has helped me put my house in order. And how did we do that? So we know your current constitution of the family, everybody. Then you see along their lifeline, what are the milestones or what are the things that need to be done. And then they prod you, or they tell you, okay, what about this, aging parents, medical, everything, etc. And everything is then charted out and allowance made for that. So that has been one big contributor, and the way that you guys come across personally, very warmly, and that's what's made the difference, and the confidence of sharing very intimate financial details with y'all, which y'all keep sacrosanct, and I respect y'all for that. So when we started with MFA, it was with a little bit of reservation, but not much. And within a few weeks itself, we gained confidence and we were at the zenith. Okay, these are the right guys for us. And then something very unexpected happened, which is that it was reverse counseling. All these years, we learned from our parents, and in our case, it was reverse. My dad retired, a very astute, let's say, share investing person, and managing his finance very well. I had the courage of going up to him and telling him, listen, there's somebody who's managing and advising us very well. Why don't you also look at them? And believe me, he invited them, they had a long chat, and for the last few years of his life, his account and his finances were managed by MFA. So what do you have? You've got my parents, generation 1. Generation 2, which is me and Sarika, my wife. Generation 3, my children. They are managed. And now we've got Gen Next, or Generation 4, my grandson. He's also being managed, or we are getting his finances managed by MFA with their help, partnership, and love, as I would say so. So 4 generations are being managed or consulted or cared, I would say is the right word, by MFA. And also there's a horizontal expansion. My extended family, wherever somebody has reached out to me, as I'm the eldest grandson in the family, people reached out to me, I refer MFA to them. Some people from my company, I refer MFA to them. And well, like I said, MFA is family.
So Rajiv, how important do you think the role of a financial coach has been in your life?
So while we've engaged or given the mandate of handling our personal finances to MFA as the umbrella organization, the best part about the service that we get from y'all is that somebody who's a very senior resource, in our case Jyoti, is our personal coach, and she's aware and advises us of all those things that is probably in our blind spot that we usually don't even think of. And I think that's where the jewel really comes in. It gives you value. Oh, I didn't even think about this. And that's great stuff that MFA brings to the table for us, given the fact that I said we are busy building our business and probably not caring so much about. But now, with Jyoti around and with the care and being on so many notifications, emails, and information, sharing publications, sharing case studies, we're getting much better aware. And then it's just wishing, oh, why didn't we do this before? But it had to happen when it had to happen. And it's great to have you guys have our back.
That's fantastic sharing. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
So now that everything is sorted, how does it feel?
It feels super. So I'll make a small analogy over here. So when we're at work, and so what do? We appoint somebody who's best at that work, and he or she runs that business. So somebody's running your sales, somebody's running your operations, somebody's running your HR, or somebody's running your finance. So that's the same kind of feeling I have when I'm talking about my financial, let's say, goals, expectations, etc. So it's like having somebody in your family who is your CEO of your financial goal planning and decisions. Of course, the decision is taken by us, but the CEO recommends it to you, and that's the bonus.
Rajiv, any thoughts on business continuity, succession of the business?
Yeah, it surely comes to mind. So when I was completing around my third decade in business, I started focusing on the planning for succession planning for succession. And while I was doing that for business, I'm very fortunate that my son Ahan, he decided to continue in business and grow the business, which he is. And I'm so grateful that what I did not have at that time as a financial coach, he's going to get the benefit not only of succession planning in the company, but also of having a financial coach in his personal life. So I guess the future looks good for him and for the company.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. This is wonderful.
Most welcome. Most welcome. Pleasure being with MFA.